when you lose, look, I have an obligation. This isn't a political thing. I have an obligation.
President Trump says he's ready to send the military into Chicago, calling it an obligation there. Can he actually do it? What's the legal authority? Joining us now, NBC News senior White House correspondent Gabe Gutierrez, NBC News senior national and political correspondent Jacob Soboroff, been covering immigration for us, and former acting vice chief of the National Guard, Bureau Major General Randy Manner. Gabe, first to you. The president says he has an obligation to go into Chicago. When is it happening? How is it happening?
Yeah, look, Katie, he's basically saying we're going in. It's unclear exactly when, although Illinois Governor J.B. Pritzker said that it's his understanding that it would happen at some point within the next few days, possibly as soon as this week. But, Katie, this is the administration wanting to go into Democratic-led cities, not just Chicago, but also he's floated the idea of Baltimore, New York City. And today in the Oval Office, just a short time ago, he actually brought up for the first time the idea of sending federal resources into New Orleans, of course, a state with a Republican governor, but a Democratic mayor. So the president not backing down, even though he may be running into legal challenges after sending the National Guard and federal resources into Los Angeles earlier this summer, Katie.
All right. So Chicago, Major, if he's going to be sending troops into Chicago, what exactly are they going to be doing? He's talking about how he's been really successful in D.C. Carjackings are down in D.C. Is that going to be the same scenario in Chicago, just the mere presence of them on the streets, that crime is going to get better? Does this, James Carville called it a stunt. Does this stunt end up helping Donald Trump?
The situation in D.C. is a one-off. It's a unicorn. The situation in Chicago potentially would be totally different. What I mean by that is you will not find guardsmen just wandering the streets. That will not be permitted. That was found to be illegal in California just 2 days ago. It's something where if the National Guard is deployed, it's likely going to be in a Title X status, which means that they will be restricted to just protecting federal property and protecting ICE agents or other federal agents in the execution of their duties. They will have no law enforcement responsibilities because that is in direct violation of posse comitatus, so that you will not see them just roaming the streets.
So what exactly did they do in L.A., Jacob?
Yeah, when the major talks about what going in looked like under Title X, that's what the authority was that the president exercised to go to Los Angeles and usurp the authority from Governor Gavin Newsom. That's what this whole lawsuit was based around. And so if you want to base what, quote unquote, going in Los Angeles might look like in Chicago, the National Guard was part of this effort to show up in and around MacArthur Park, where I think it's most famous to people like you and I who grew up in LA as a place to get a fake ID, not for some big, large, transnational, daily criminal activity that's going on there, at least not today. So I'd look at Millennium Park and the Bean. Are you going to see National Guard troops showing up there because the Border Patrol under Gregory Bovino, who's now the special agent in charge, forgive me, I don't know his official title, of that operation, is going to go march people in a show of force just like he did through Los Angeles? There is precedent here, and as the major said, it was found illegal in a federal court.
Yeah.
It also upended the way of life throughout Southern California for about a month's time, including in Oxnard at Strawberry Fields, including in big public parks in Los Angeles. And so I think the people of Chicago should brace for that if past is precedent.
So going back to D.C. for a second, Gabe, and I want to get you on this. He has more authority in D.C., the president does, than he has in other cities because of the nature of how the district works. Mayor Bowser today held a press conference talking about extending Donald Trump's emergency. Let me play what she said.
The mayor's order does not extend the Trump emergency. In fact, it does the exact opposite. What it does is lays out a framework for how we will exit the emergency. The emergency ends on September 10th. The only way it can be extended legally is by the Congress.
How exactly is she reacting to this? I mean, is Mayor Bowser now saying, I know she says Congress has to extend it, but is she fighting this?
Well, locally, Katie, Mayor Bowser is actually taking a lot of heat because yesterday she signed this executive order here in the district, basically saying that local officials should cooperate or work collaboratively with the federal government as part of this this deployment, and seems to suggest that that this situation here in D.C. could extend indefinitely. Now, in that news conference this morning, it was an unrelated news conference where she took questions about this. She seemed to be walking that back a bit and trying to walk that fine line between actually appeasing the Trump administration, which she has largely done. And in fact, the president a few days ago on social media basically thanked her for doing so, said that other Democratic leaders across the country should follow her lead. But she is also trying to appease a local constituency here. Some local city council members have been furious by how she has responded and that she has not spoken out more forcefully against what President Trump has done in D.C. And this all comes as she decides whether to run for a fourth term next year, Katie.